The meeting of the Planning Commission will come to order. Please rise and follow Commissioner Uva in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Place your right hand over your heart and begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We just covered this. Am I going to call you the deputy?
Principal planner.
Principal planner. Will the deputy city clerk please call roll?
Yes. Commissioner Uva,
Present.
Commissioner Duarte,
Present.
Vice Chair Ortiz,
Present.
and Chair Owens.
Present.
We have a quorum. Thank you.
Thank you. This is the time set aside for oral communication from the Planning Commission. Does any commissioner wish to make an announcement or report on a conference or meeting or request items for a future agenda? Commissioner Ortiz.
Hi, yes, I do have a question for staff. I was watching one of my council members or council city meetings, and my council member brought up a good point, and I was wondering if we have to do anything in our commission in regards to arches in downtown Downey.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, could you
Please.
elaborate on arches? I'm not.
So Mario Trujillo, our council member, brought up arches, and I was wondering if our commission has to do anything to expedite that or do anything.
So if you can elaborate on arches. I'm sorry, is it a program?
There's an archway that other cities have to expedite. Yeah, you've seen those? That
Or is
like,
it within the public right-of-way? Like over a street, for example?
over Downey Avenue and Firestone.
Okay, so that would be over a street and both streets. I believe that's under the purview of the Public Works Department.
Okay, so nothing in
I
our
don't
commission.
believe that it would be a planning commission that gets involved. I could follow up and find out for you, though.
I would appreciate that. Thank you. Nothing else, sir.
Thank you, Commissioner Ortiz. Commissioner Uva?
Nothing for me to report.
Commissioner Duarte?
Nothing for me.
And nothing for me. Does the interim principal planner, or does the principal planner, I'm getting it right, have any changes to the agenda?
Mr. Chairman, no, there are no changes.
All right, thank you. Does the principal planner have any presentations?
Mr. Chairman, no, I do not.
Does the principal planner have a report on city council actions?
Mr. Chairman, do not.
Thank you. Now's the time set aside for the public hearing for a secondary driveway application, PLN-22-000037. Does the deputy city clerk have proof of publication?
Yes, Chair, I do.
Will the principal planner introduce staff making the presentation?
Mr. Chairman, yes, we have Associate Planner Gerardo Marquez doing the presentation.
Good afternoon, Chairperson, Commissioners, members of the audience. My name is Gerardo Marquez, and I am the Associate Planner for the City of Downey. I look forward to working with you all on many more projects and having this be the first of many presentations that I give to you all. With that said, the project before you tonight is PLN 22-00037, which is a request for a secondary driveway for recreational vehicle storage on property zoned R1 single-family residential, specifically R1 5000. Subject site is 13205 Blodgett Avenue. Here we have an aerial site of the project site. The subject site is along the western portion of Blodgett Avenue and is located just south of the 105 freeway and north of Golden Street. Subject site, as I mentioned before, holds a zoning designation of R1 5000, which is similar to the surrounding neighborhood. Here we have an existing street view of the project site. As you can see on the left-hand side, there is an existing driveway. The secondary driveway would be located on the right side of the property there. A little bit of background on the property. Lot is approximately 11,779 square feet and currently has two detached single-family dwellings. The front house is approximately 935 square feet, and the back house is approximately 2,020 square feet. Each dwelling unit provides its own two-car garage. Now for the secondary driveway, dimensions proposed are a 10-foot wide by 32 feet in length driveway. 10 feet wide complies with Downey Municipal Code development standards. Additionally, the secondary driveway will provide a ribbon strip design, which also complies with our Downey development standards. And the concrete pad shall be located at the side of the front house and will be exclusively for RV parking. Okay, so here we have a site plan just for orientation purposes. Blodgett is located along the top of the image. And onto the left, I did provide a little matrix, right, for clarification on development standards that the city requires and what the applicant is proposing. So yes, the applicant is proposing a ribbon strip driveway, a landscape ribbon strip driveway, which complies with our development standards. Per Downey Municipal Code, the pad for the RV parking shall not encroach into any required front or side yard setback. As you can see, the required front yard setback for this site is 20 feet, and the applicant is proposing a 32 feet setback, which is in line with the front house. The applicant is proposing a 6 foot 3 inch side yard setback, which complies with the required setback for the city of Downey. Additionally, to those setback requirements, there's a 5 foot setback from adjacent structures, and as seen on the plot plan, the applicant will be providing that 5 foot setback. Here are some examples of ribbon driveways. The applicant was shown these ribbon driveways and has agreed to provide similar design and style if and when the applicant is provided permission to move along. So this project was presented to the Development Review Committee. No department expressed concerns or opposition over the project, and standard conditions were issued. Public Works Department provided standard conditions regarding work on the public right-of-way, as well as standards regarding the design of driveway approaches. It is of staff's opinion that all the findings can be found in the affirmative. This concludes staff's presentation, and I am available for any questions that you might have.
Great, thank you very much, and welcome aboard.
Thank you.
I'll go down the line here. Commissioner Ortiz, any questions of the city staff?
No questions. Thank you.
Commissioner Uva, questions?
No questions.
Commissioner Duarte?
None for me, thank you.
I have one. So on the rendering, the drawing,
Yeah.
you have a PL at the very top. I'm gonna take that as property line,
That's correct.
and that line relates to, looks to me, it's, bordering the red colored or the salmon colored, whatever color, right, the band is right there, where the kind of arrow finishes. And then next to it, or the next indication there, legend piece is, you have a 6 foot 3 dimension as the setback. So what is the driving property line, is my question. Is it the property line you've indicated, and then the setback is in addition to that, to the neighbor's property line, or maybe you can explain that?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question one more time?
Okay, so at the top of the drawing, you have PL, so property line. And is that maybe I've answered the question already. That's pointing to the front property line, not necessarily this, it's not the side property line.
That's correct.
Okay, got it. No more questions. Thank you. Before I open the public hearing and call the applicant or his or her representative, this would be the time for the planning commissioners to disclose any pre-hearing site visits or pre-hearing discussions that the commissioners may have had about the project. Commissioner Ortiz,
I have none, Chair. Thank you.
Commissioner Uva,
None.
and Commissioner Duarte,
None.
and I have none. The public hearing is now open. Will the applicant or his or her representative please come forward to give testimony? And for the record, if you would state your name and address, please.
Good evening. My name is Jawad Haddad. I'm the owner of the 13205, 13203 Blodgett Avenue, and I have lived in that house over 30 years. And I'm submitting this request secondary driveway for my RV because it's going to be a long RV and it's not going to be easy to put it in the other driveway and move the cars. And that's about it.
Okay, thank you. Has there been any correspondence, I'm sorry, is there any question of the commission to the applicant? Commissioner Ortiz?
I have none. Thank you.
Commissioner Uva?
None for me.
Commissioner Duarte?
And none for me also.
And I have none, thank you.
Okay.
All right. From Madam Secretary, has there been any correspondence in favor or opposition?
Okay.
There has not.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone who'd like to speak in favor or opposition of this application?
Good afternoon. I'm not in favor or opposing it. I was just noticing, is this going to be a standard practice in the city of Downey? Because we do seem to have issues with trailers and RVs parked on the streets or in front, just over the front property line, which is kind of dangerous, but this obviously is a more well thought out project here. I don't know about the ribbon driveway. Maybe they can fill the rest of that in with concrete. But it's an issue in Downey. And I think as long as the RV is parked back and flush with the front of the house, I think it's safer for drivers to drive down the street, or, you know, kids running out in the street, you're not seeing them and stuff like that. But what we have now is just a lot of trailers being parked on the streets or in the front yards or towards the curb area, and they really shouldn't be there, especially a single family dwelling. But is this going to be the precedent-setting future plans for such endeavors? Because obviously people are having more trailers and RVs, but they have nowhere to put them, and they can't afford to put them anywhere. Although this plan, looks okay, I just don't know if we're going to do this on single-family dwellings in the future. That's all. Thank you.
Does the applicant care for any rebuttal time? Thank you. The public hearing is now closed. Does the planning staff have a recommendation?
Staff recommends that the Planning Commission approve PLN 22, dash 00037 via resolution number 22-3180.
All right. It is now time for the planning commission to deliberate. Does the commission have any questions at this time, or would the commission like to discuss the item or make a motion? Commissioner Ortiz, questions?
I have no questions.
Commissioner Uva, questions?
No questions.
All right. Commissioner Duarte?
No questions for me.
And I have none, so at this time I'll entertain a motion
Motion to pass PLN-22-000037.
And I will second it.
The motion passes 4-0 to approve PLN 22-00037 for a secondary driveway application. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to remind the applicant that the action of the Planning Commission will be final unless the matter is appealed to the City Council with the appropriate fee within the next 15-day period as set forth in the city's municipal code. Congratulations. Next item on the agenda is the non-agenda public comment. This portion of the agenda provides an opportunity for the public to address the Planning Commission on non-agenda, consent, and other business items within the jurisdiction of the Planning Commission and not listed on the agenda. It is requested but not required that you state your name, address, and subject matter upon which you wish to speak. Please limit your comments for non-agenda items to no more than 4 minutes. Pursuant to the Brown Act, no discussion or action, other than a brief response, referral to the city planning staff, or a schedule for a subsequent agenda shall be taken by the Planning Commission on any issue brought forth under this section. Please approach the mic and start the clock.
Okay, I do have a complaint of downtown Downey, specifically between 2nd and 3rd Street on Downey Avenue and the adjacent properties there. I think it's high time that the Planning Commission starts leaning in and removing the barriers and the tables and the umbrellas and everything that's on the sidewalks. Move the patrons inside. There's no reason for them to be outside anymore. We want our parking back. We want our sidewalks back. We want our streets back. We're tired of the garbage spilling out into the streets, especially if you go over there on any Friday or Saturday night. It is a freaking zoo, man. Okay? And that's all the way down the street. Now, I know a lot of those businesses are not happy with the situation that's there. And when you drive through there, I mean, you can't see. I mean, you're always looking for something to jump out at you because it's real claustrophobic. And there's room in these other restaurants to get off of that sidewalk. They could be moved inside now. There's room in the back at Bastards. There's room inside at Epic Lounge. There's room in the back at Alo Resto Bar. They don't need to be on the sidewalk anymore. The COVID myth has been exposed. It's unnecessary for all this al fresco dining. Nobody wants to see that in our town. Used to be a nice town and a nice place to drive down the street, but it's not nice anymore. It's not. All the garbage spills out into the street when they have room in the back in their patio area. And they even have upstairs, some of them. But to think that you're gonna make this town like West Hollywood or Beverly Hills or Los Angeles with archways, well, we know how that's going over there. Not very good. Nobody's coming to Downey to travel under an archway over Firestone Boulevard. They're not going to. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of our money. But I'm looking to the Planning Commission to step up and get rid of all these mandates for businesses and let them flourish, but let them move inside where the patrons should be. We don't want to be sitting out on the street, with dirt flying around or anything like that. Okay, because we can't look to the city council to do the right thing. They are totally out of control. They have no idea what they're doing half the time, and they think they can do whatever they want. Now, I was hoping we could have a new city manager with some experience could have stepped up the other night on that $25 an hour deal, but it was a missed opportunity. And the city attorney did not give good advice on that either. And I'm hoping the Planning Commission can come forward and explain that it's not the city council's job to tell people who to hire and how much they have to pay their employees. Does the city council have the right to tell you how much to pay a gardener? Does the city council have the right and authority to tell you how much to pay people at In-N-Out? Or how about the hair salon? You don't have that right. They don't have that authority. But they went ahead and they didn't even do an impact analysis summary on it. And they went ahead and just voted. And then the very next day, our mayor, Blanca Pacheco, gets the endorsement from the SEI union. Thank you very much.
Moving on the agenda to the consent calendar. I see nothing on the consent calendar for this evening. Does the principal planner have any additional comments?
No, Mr. Chairman, do not.
At this time, I'll gavel the meeting shut and adjourn to a future date, future time. Thank you.